Hey, hi everyone. So in this particular video, I will discuss what CAPI is. CAPI is Facebook CAPI. Facebook CAPI means Facebook Conversion API and why it is required. And second, I will take the case if you are the offline business. Offline businesses means the businesses which are running offline. That can be hospital, that can be any kind of schools, preschools, or maybe in any kind of law firm. So where the actual transaction happens offline, means they go to visit your center and then uh, there they complete the transaction. That's what the offline business is. So here I will share my screen and we'll start with what exactly the CAPI is, why it is required, and then we'll move how to implement the CAPI. So this is how the normal typical you can say the meta campaign works in, where you have the means where you have implemented a pixel and on the web page you set certain event like page views, lead, subscribe. So and based on this particular pixels your this particular pixel your campaign is optimized. See, these are the like the events are there, and then page views, view content. And if the e-commerce business, you can have add to cart, initiate checkout, search, add to payment info, then the purchase. So this is typical the pixel way of tracking the meta box. But what's the how it is tracked actually? The pixels way particularly works with the cookies. So here in the cookies, the certain event is triggered, and then you track those events, and based on those events, based on those event, you optimize your campaign. So what's the main drawback? Why the Meta need to go to the CAPI? Anyway, this particular system was working from quite long. One reason is that the cookies are uh, prone to errors. Like maybe due to the ad blocker, cookies can malfunction, and also due to many other reason also, the cookies can stop working, or maybe it can throw you some redundant events, or maybe the tracking is not that robust. And also, many people are working out where the cookies will not store any data. So to make the things more robust, Facebook has started CAPI. CAPI means Facebook Conversion API. So in Conversion API, typically what happens here is, so in Conversion API, the data which they like if you have an e-commerce store, so data what happens, whatever the transaction happens, that goes to your CRM. And that data is pushed back to the meta server, and the meta server actually calculates, okay, that's based on the real data that's it gets from your CRM. The face and the meta server calculates, okay, how many data or how many events has actually happened. So wait a second, maybe I will try to show you something. I don't have much. So that actually happens. So in the case of pixels, directly to the cookies you're tracking, but in the case of the CAPI, you count the events, or maybe you measure the events you have. I will show you. So these events, see here. So this is actually the CAPI has already been implemented. So here the data has gone to the CRM, and then the data is pushed back to the meta server, and then they calculated it. Okay, so there are a total of 52,000 events in that. This is the event quality. So how many events are actually matching? That means how many events that in the meta server that has got, and how many are matching. So this is also the event match rate, the data which is pushed back to the CRM, and in the Facebook server, they will match it with the actual data that's there in the server. So that's called the match quality. So here the data first, in the case of CAPI, the data is sent to your CRM, and from that CRM, it is pushed back to the meta server. and there he calculates the, okay, what's the exact number of the events, and that data is shown here in the case of the total events. So that's the typical, means it's the main difference. So one is with the cookie and another works on the real events. And it's very hard to manipulate the event, or in any, in whatever happens, it's the first party data. You can't change it. So data is going to be more robust, more reliable in the case of CAPI. Now I will move to how to implement it, particularly in the case of offline businesses. Offline businesses means if you are the business, like if you have schools, preschools, hospitals, or maybe some kind of immigration firms, or maybe if you have the offline store, you're running the meta campaign. So what happened in those cases, you can only run the campaign on these events like page views, leads, subscribe. But the other lower layer events, like where the actual sales happen, whether the lead number of lead that's coming is qualified, not qualified, those data is are actually there in your CRM, like the number of people who booked the school tour, number of visits scheduled, number of people admitted, any case, schools, hospitals, or maybe if you have the offline stores, the number of offline sales happen, those data in your CRM, because those are not happening on the landing pages, or maybe the pages that is we are running the Facebook campaign. So these data can also be pushed using the CAPI, and the good part is that you can run the campaign like before in the Pixel world. You can only run the campaign, maybe the verified leads, the number of leads that came to the landing page. After that, you don't know how many people declined the meeting, how many people has booked the tour, or maybe how many people has actually means how many people has actually been admitted. Okay, so these data are there in the CRM. So with the help, if you implement the CAPI, so you can run the campaign or optimize the campaign on these data. So these data first need to be pushed from your CRM to the Meta, and then the event need to be created. So now I will go step by step how you can create it, how can implement the CAPI. So first, for the CAPI to implement the first phase, if you are a simple online business, you can implement using the Step. Step, just integrate it. It has a very and it's very easy to use. So whatever data is there on your online part, like if you're the your e-commerce business, so just integrate with it. There's certain charges to it, so you can just integrate, and then you can uh, track using the CAPI. But if you are an offline business, so in that case, the certain steps that you need to follow. I will also put all this detail, whatever the resources I have in my description. So, like if you are a school, or maybe if you are using a CRM, let's suppose a Freshsell CRM. Okay, so this need to be done like this. Yeah, yeah. Here is the complete set of document. So first of all, you decide on means see. First of all, you understand the complete events. First of all, you decide on what are events that's captured in your offline business. Like I will take the example of schools. So schools, the event after getting the leads, someone from the sales team will call them, or maybe the counselor will call them, and after calling, she will come to know whether the person is interested or not. So you can make a event for make a tagging for whether it's a qualified or unqualified lead, and after that's qualified, then what's the quality of the leads? Like if there's a long conversations, or maybe he is interested in visiting the school, so you can tag as a interested in visit. After the interested in visited there, so you can make whether he visit or not. So you can put on one more event like visited or not. And after visited, you can put a more tag whether he has taken admission or not. So those data should be there in your CRM. Okay. So first you understand the make the complete, this is also called the lower funnel flow. So you have to make the complete note down each and every point and make the which are points or which are data points you want to capture in the CRM, and based on that you can optimize your based on that you the data that you can send to the Meta, and you can run the campaign. So like I'm taking the example of school. So in school, you can have first it's qualified or unqualified lead. Second, scheduled a visit to school or not. Second, he visited school or not. And finally, he has taken admission or not. So those 4 5 events should be there in your CRM so that you can easily push them to the Meta server using the Facebook API that they have provided. And these 4 events are also called the offline events. So first of all, so this is the step by step on how you can implement it. First, understand the workflow. Before setting the guidelines, wanted to understand how to process your businesses, like customer visit, purchase, or these are all offline events. So you have to collect all those data. Then those data event type should be formatted in the form in which the Meta Conversion API require it. Okay. I think if you know how to implement the any kind of APIs, you can easily do it. So first prepare all the data, customer detail, all the event type, or do the type match. The third step is that go to the Facebook Beta Business Manager, data sources, and offline. Set up the offline event that you want to track. Okay, so I think you can easily do that. If you can go here, this is there in one of the event settings. Okay, business data sources, offline events, data sources. You can go it here. Here you can see for here you will get the event. This is the conversion API tool. If you have not done the basic thing, you can directly get starts from here. Select I will select by this option. Okay, next you select. So this is the charges. If you run through the web services, this is going to be the cost for you. Go back. Okay. You don't need that. The gateway part, directly how manage the API to send the event. Okay. So I will again go back here. So you can set up all the events. I will share the list of event here. I have all the offline events and all. So those events need to be means the conversion API need to be implemented, and these events, so whatever the events you have did, uh, check the offline conversion API. See, these are the events. See, so in the using the you will get a list of conversion APIs. So those API you need to call, and then you need to send all the data, particularly the offline data, to the Meta events. And after you have implemented this, means all the conversion API, maybe you need to take some help of the developer. You will get data like this. Wait a second. Yeah. So like if you have implemented the conversion APIs, take the help of the developer. Then you can start getting all the events like visit schedule, visited, admitted, applied. So you can start getting all the events in your event manager. Okay. And after that, after this is done, you can even run the campaign. Like I will go to see, this is the campaign is there. So after that, in spite of running campaign based on the pixels, you can run the campaign based on the offline events that send from your CRM to the meta server. So see, this particular campaign I am running on the visit scheduled. You can check it down and see. You will get even the options there in the ad set level. You have the options where you can where you can choose the events that's been passed. So now you can run the campaign based on the event that is sent from the your CRM to the meta server. So like if the CAPI and the CAPI offline events are properly implemented, so in spite of running campaign on the lead optimization, I can run the campaign like in the case of visited or maybe the scheduled visit. So here I will go a little bit top and see this is the campaign which is running on widget scheduled, means the number of people who has called me, we verified that okay, it's a qualified lead and now they want to visit our center, or maybe if you have the hospitals or any kind of business. So this particularly depends on you. If you are have getting a lot of data, the data volume is very huge, maybe you can also run a campaign based on the purchase. So it's completely depend on you. I hope I have captured all the details about the CAPI. Anyway, if you need any help, you can directly reach me out at abhaykmarketing@gmail.com, or maybe you can directly message me on this particular video. So thanks a lot for the time. I hope it has added some value or maybe clarified you on certain aspects or how to implement the meta capi. And the last point is that it can be run on all both the campaigns, whether you're running a website lead gen campaign, which comes on the meta, or maybe any kind of website landing page campaign. Both this capi can be implemented. So thank you. Thanks a lot for the details. I hope you have enjoyed it. Thanks again.